गोलगप्पे चैनल। सबसे पहले तो आप प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब करें और अपने फैमिली मेम्बर्स को सब्सक्राइब करें बिकॉज़ ये आपके घर का चैनल है। ये आपके घर का चैनल है। जी। आज का विषय है एनर्जी। ये मैं सीरीज़ बना रहा हूँ। ये एक डोमेन रहेगा, एक पिलर रहेगा इस चैनल का। और एनर्जी के अंतर्गत हम हेल्थ की बात करेंगे, वाटर की बात करेंगे, हर तरह के फॉसिल एनर्जी, फ्यूल एनर्जी, माइनिंग, जो नेचर से निकलता है वो। नमस्ते व्यूअर्स। आज अप्रैल 5 भारत में और शनिवार है, तो हैप्पी वीकेंड फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू। अभी आप अपने घर में होंगे, अपने काउच पे होंगे, जहाँ भी होंगे, आप सभी का स्वागत है। आज का टॉपिक जो मैं शुरुआत कर रहा हूँ, ये सीरीज़ होगा गोलगप्पे चैनल। सबसे पहले तो आप प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब करें और अपने फैमिली मेम्बर्स को सब्सक्राइब करें बिकॉज़ ये आपके घर का चैनल है। ये आपके घर का चैनल है, ठीक है? ये याद रखिए। दूसरा, एनर्जी। आज का विषय है एनर्जी। ये मैं सीरीज़ बना रहा हूँ। ये एक डोमेन रहेगा, एक पिलर रहेगा इस चैनल का। और एनर्जी के अंतर्गत हम हेल्थ की बात करेंगे, वाटर की बात करेंगे, हर तरह के फॉसिल एनर्जी, फ्यूल एनर्जी, माइनिंग, जो नेचर से निकलता है वो, चाहे वो इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक हो या इवन कॉस्मोस पे चले जाएं, जो अलका का गिरना, मीटेरॉइड का गिरना। So every form of energy will be discussed. I will be getting different experts from Bharat and from USA, जहाँ जहाँ मेरी सोर्स और सामर्थ है उनको मैं लाऊंगा और इस पे बात करूंगा बिकॉज एनर्जी इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ आवर लाइफ। बिकॉज जिस तरह से वर्ल्ड अपने जियोग्राफिकली जो चेंजेस हो रहा है, राइट, उसके लिए एनर्जी को समझना और अपने हेल्थ से रिलेटेड इसको समझना इज सो इम्पॉर्टेंट। तो हैविंग सेड दैट, स्वागत है आपका। आप देखने लगे हैं गोल गप्पे चैनल। तो सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको, चूंकि मैं ट्रेडिशनलिस्ट भी हूँ और मैं थोड़ा स्क्रिप्चर्स को भी पढ़ने लगा हूँ आजकल, तो ये पुस्तक देखिए फॉर फ्रेंड्स जो हिंदी नहीं पढ़ सकते हैं, हमारे तमिलनाडु के मित्र या दक्षिण भारत के मित्र। इस पुस्तक का नाम है श्री रामचरितमानस। दिस वाज रिटन बाय गोस्वामी तुलसीदास जी, ठीक है? ये एक प्राइज पोजेशन है मेरे पास जो मुझे अपनी लेट मदर इन लॉ से मिला। उन्होंने मुझे, सो दिस इज़ अ वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट गिफ्ट फ्रॉम हर टू मी, ऑब्वियसली अलॉन्ग विथ माय वाइफ। मैं उसको ऑफेंड नहीं कर सकता हूँ, बट दिस डेफिनेटली इज़ वेरी नियर टू माय हार्ट बिकॉज ये उन्होंने समझा कि मेरे पास ज़्यादा सुरक्षित और राइट वे में रहेगा बिकॉज मैं पढ़ने लगा हूँ स्क्रिप्चर्स इन दैट कॉन्टेक्स्ट, ठीक है? तो मैं आई विल ऑलवेज कीप दिस, आई एम ऑनर्ड टू हैव दिस एंड आई ऑलवेज कीप दिस बुक। नाउ ये बुक मैं आपको एनर्जी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में क्यों दिखा रहा हूँ, मैं ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट बिल्ड करूँगा, मैं आपको समझाऊंगा मैं क्यों दिखा रहा हूँ और यहाँ से मेरी शुरुआत होगी, ठीक है? तो इस बुक में जो गोस्वामी तुलसीदास जी ने लिखा है, रामचरितमानस जो रामायण है, ऑब्वियसली इट वाज इंस्पायर्ड बाय वाल्मीकि जी, जो ऑथेंटिक और ओरिजिनल और फर्स्ट रामायण है। तो इसमें एक कांड है सुंदर कांड, राइट? द वेरियस कांड, किष्किंधा कांड, लंका कांड, बाल कांड। तो सुंदर कांड एक सेक्शन है। सुंदर कांड में एक श्लोक है जो मैं पढ़ रहा था, तो एक श्लोक मेरे नज़र में आया और उस श्लोक, वो जो श्लोक है, ऑब्वियसली रामचरितमानस इज रिटन इन अ लोकल डायलेक्ट ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश, उसको अवधी बोलते हैं। तो उसमें सुंदरकांड में श्लोक नंबर 25, और मैं हिंदी थोड़ा पढ़ूंगा, थोड़ा हिंदी में अगर कुछ त्रुटियां हुई तो एक्सपर्ट प्लीज़ मुझे माफ़ करेंगे, थोड़ा विदेश में रहने के कारण हम लोग थोड़ा सा अटकते हैं, तो होपफुली आप अपने इस फ्रेंड को, भाई को, जो भी समझते हैं, प्लीज़ आप उसको पार्डन करेंगे, जो प्यूरिस्ट लोग हैं, बट इंटेंशन है कि आप उसके आत्मा को समझिए। सो उसमें जो 25वां श्लोक है सुंदरकांड में, जो श्री हनुमान जी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में है, हरि प्रेरित तेहि अवसर चले मारुत 49, 49 हिंदी में 49 को बोलते हैं। अट्टहास करी गर्जा कपि, बढ़ी लाग आकाश। ठीक है, हरि प्रेरित तेहि अवसर चले मारुत 49, अट्टहास करी गर्ज कपि, बढ़ लाग आकाश। इसको ट्रांसलेट अगर आप करते हैं तो इसका मतलब है कि जब हनुमान जी ने लंका को अग्नि के हवाले कर दिया, तो परम ब्रह्मा की प्रेरणा से 49 पवन चलने लगे। फॉर द व्यूअर्स हु कैन नॉट अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी, आई एम कोटिंग from Ramchritmanas Ramayana of Tulsi Goswami Tulsidas, Shloka number 25, where there is a mention of 49 types of Marut. Marut is a kind of a different kinds of air, Pavan. 49 types. ठीक है? Now let me build the context. Now, what is this 49 Marut? Air or energy? What is that? What does it stand for? So when some research was done by my team, we found that in Vedas, which is the oldest scriptures known to mankind, Vedas have defined Vayu, which is air. Vayu, when I say, guys, it's air, and it's not the only air which you breathe in. It's like anything which is in air form, and there are multiple forms which I will come to it. So Vayu in Vedas have defined Vayu not as single entity but 7 different categories of Vayu. Not 7 different Vayu, 7 different categories, unlike common understanding. Now, as a commoner, you may think that air is only one. What is so big deal about it, right? It only changes its attribute, like it becomes cold, it becomes hot, it becomes general air, but that is not what we are referring here. Vedas explained it differently. It categorized it into 7 different parts. And what are those 7 different parts or categories? So I will say in Hindi, it's pravah, avah, उद्दह, संवह, विवह, परिवह, परावह. So 7 types of air: pravah, avah, उद्दह, संवह, संवह, विवह, परिवह and परावह. Right? एक आकार का अंतर है. So it's also said in that Vedas that all these 7 categories of Vayu has 7 ganas. So with all these 7 categories of Vayu, there are 7 ganas, right? Ganas are some kind of Upadev or some kind of entity, because in Hinduism they believe that there are multiple forms of living beings, not only human and animals, but there are multiple forms. And ganas, जैसे शिव के गण, right? All like so ganas are like that. Now it is said that these ganas tied to these 7 categories of Vayu, they travel in all different kind of galaxies. Now in Hinduism, they further, like in Abrahamic faith, we know that there is one heaven and there is one hell, correct? As per the understanding of that faith. In Hinduism, it's not one loka. It's not only one heaven. There are 14 lokas. And in our context, all these 7 categories of Vayu and these ganas, they travel in 7 lokas. Out of 14, they travel in the 7 lokas. कौन से वे लोक में ये ट्रैवल करते हैं? ब्रह्मलोक, इंद्रलोक, स्पेस जो कि अंतरिक्ष है, which could be said as heaven maybe, भूलोक, Bhulok is where Lord Shiva also resides apart from Kailash, the one form of Lord Shiva. So Bhulok East, Bhulok West, Bhulok North, and Bhulok South. These seven lokas में ये गणास ट्रैवल करते हैं. ठीक है. अब देखिए ये जो 49 मारुत का जो जो तुलसीदास ने मेंशन किया है अपने रामायण में, रामचरितमानस में, वो कैसे कोरिलेट करता है. तो 7 कैटेगरीज ऑफ वायु इनटू 7 गणास, 7 times 7 is equal to 49, एंड उन्होंने 49 का वहां पे मेंशन किया था. See the correlation, how scientific or how smart the poet was to use science and also other scriptures when writing his own book called Ramchritmanas. People who don't understand Hindu theology and system go and research on standard science books, right? Not the elementary book, but research level books. So in science, air is classified into 6 mainstreams. So our current science 7 को नहीं करता है. They understand air into 6 different categories, and the type of air masses based on their source, their region, and their characteristics. And what are those 6 types? Maritime tropical, also called as MT. Continental tropical, also called CT. Maritime polar, also called MP. Continental polar, also called maritime Arctic. And continental Arctic, also called CA. So maritime tropical, continental tropical, maritime polar, continental polar, maritime Arctic, continental Arctic. So 6 types of air has been defined by the scientist categories. They have not gone inside the water or inside the earth where you still have a living being, and they definitely use some form of air, whether through soil or whether through water or whatever. So that has been missing, which Vedas did cover भूलोक का definition में. ठीक है. So see the correlation of this Ramayana Tulsidas जो energy की बात कर रहे हैं, 49 kind of vayu, because vayu is energy. Now, maritime tropical क्या है? ये warm and humid air formed from the tropical oceans. Continental tropical is hot and dry air formed over desert and tropical land areas. Maritime polar is cool, moist air formed over polar oceans. Continental polar is cold and dry air formed over polar region. Maritime Arctic is very cold and moist air formed over Arctic water, and continental Arctic is extremely cold and dry air formed over Arctic region. Okay? See the correlation. And this is what attracted me to this book. Now I will take you to the energy, right? Which is part of this Vayu. This whole topic which I have initiated is about energy. And every time when you start something new, you need to be positive. So I will talk about the good energy to begin with. Clean air is so important for our health that most of the Indian cities struggle for the fresh air. So Vayu, as we understand in the ancient Hindu text, plays a very important role in our life, right? Our health. All the Indian cities, mostly the tier 2 cities, are very polluted right now, and we feel so unhealthy and compromised. So it you will understand why all your success, all your wealth creation, all your stress, everything is related with air quality, right? Now let's go to the good energy. So what is good energy? I want to share a vision of health that is big and bold. It predicates health and longevity on something simple powerful, and absolutely fundamental. ठीक है? A huge physiological phenomenon that can be or that can change almost everything about how you feel and function today and in the future. It's called good energy. And the reason it has such a life changing impact is that it governs the very essence of what quite literally makes you tick. Whether your cells have the energy to do their jobs of keeping um, these nourished, clear-minded, hormonally balanced, immune protected, heart healthy, structurally sound, and so much more. Having good energy is the core underlying physiological function that, more than any other process in your body, determines your prediction to great mental health and to the poor health disease. तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि गुड एनर्जी का इम्पोर्टेंस कितना है हमारे लाइफ पे. ठीक है, अब मैं आपको कुछ और सुनाना चाहता हूँ. द प्रॉब्लम सिंपली स्टेट्स अबाउट द एनर्जी इज द मिसमैच. इसका क्या मतलब है? The metabolic processes that runs our bodies evolved over hundreds or thousands of years in a synergistic relationship with the environment around us. But those environmental conditions around cells of our bodies have profoundly and rapidly changed in recent decades. Starting with our diet, yet including our movement pattern, our sleep pattern, our stress levels, and exposure to non natural chemicals, things are not as they once were. The environment for cells of the average modern human is now radically different from what the cells expect and need. So हमारा जो cell जो बना था वो एक सर्टन फंक्शन और इन्वायरमेंट और काम के लिए बना था. अब लेकिन विद द अमाउंट ऑफ चेंजेस वी हैव गॉन थ्रू विद द लाइफ स्पैन, विद मॉडर्निटी, ये पूरा सेल अभी इवॉल्व नहीं हुआ है टू मैच दैट काइंड ऑफ अ चेंज. So the evolutionary mismatch is tipping normal metabolic function into dysfunction. इसको आप ध्यान से सुनिए क्योंकि मैं अब बैड एनर्जी की बात कर रहा हूं. And when small cellular disturbances happen in every cell at every moment, the effect is outsized, rippling up into tissues, organs, and system of your body, and negatively influencing how you feel, think, function, look, age, and even how well you combat pathogens and avoid chronic diseases. In fact, almost every chronic health system that Western medicine addresses is the result of our cells being able to cope up and how we have come to live. It is a terrible tickle up. Bad energy leads to broken cells, broken organs, broken bodies, and pain you feel. तो आप समझ रहे हैं मैं कहां आपको लेकर जाना चाह रहा हूं. ठीक है, अब फॉर द व्यूअर्स एक दो लास्ट पैराग्राफ है जो मैं आपको क्विकली डिस्कशन करना चाहता हूं, एंड यू वुड लव टू हियर दिस. We have 200 different types of cells in the human body, and when the bad energy shows up in different types, different symptoms can arise. For instance, if an ovarian theca cell is experiencing bad energy, it looks like infertility in the form of polycystic ovary syndrome, also known as PCOS, PCOS. If a blood vessel lining cell is experiencing bad energy, it can look like erectile dysfunction, heart disease, high blood pressure, retinal problems, or chronic kidney diseases, all issues resulting from bad flow to different organs. If a liver is experiencing bad energy, it can look like non alcoholic fatty liver disease, also known as NAFLD, very common nowadays because of eating habits. We eat a lot of fries, we munch so much snacks. So, NAFLD. In the brain, bad energy can look like depression, and it is such a mass scale problem. Anybody after 60s, 70s, and 80s, they are getting into this stroke, dementia, migraine, or chronic pain, depending on where this dysfunctional cellular process are mostly prominently showing up recently. Research has clearly shown us that every one of these conditions and dozen more is linked directly to metabolic issues. Okay, a problem with how our cell makes energy. So bad energy, the way we practice medicine, however, has not caught up with this root cause. Understanding understanding this. Okay, so we will treat the organ specific results of bad energy, not the bad energy itself. This is so important, guys, to know. And we will never improve failing health of our modern population, right? So, if we don't address the correct issues of metabolic dysfunction, which is why the more we spend on healthcare and the more we work as physician and the more access to healthcare, the medication we provide to patient, the worse outcomes we get. And this is for the doctor fatality. So compared to 100 years ago, we are consuming astronomically more sugar, up to 3,000 times more हम लोग sugar खाने लगे हैं. 3,000, 3,000 times more sugar we are eating what our body is meant for. Percent more liquid fructose, working in more sedimentary jobs, and sleeping 25% less. We are also exposed to over 80,000 synthetic chemicals in our food today, water and air. 80,000 synthetic chemicals in our food, water, and air. As a result of all these factors and many others, our cells have stopped being able to make energy the way they should. Many aspects of our industrialized life over past century share a unique synergistic ability to attack machinery inside the cells that produce chemical energy. The result, cellular dysfunction throughout our body. So it's not only one organ which is facing this, it's the entire body showing up as the explosion of chronic symptoms and diseases we are facing today. Our body has simple way to show us whether we have a brewing metabolic dysfunction, increasing waist size, suboptimal cholesterol levels, high fasting glucose, and elevated blood pressure. So you see where we are heading as the human being with all of these challenges, guys. And in the end, life is 10% what happens to us. Life is 10% what happens to us, and 90% how we react to it. Life is a journey, right? And that must be traveled. So I don't want you to be skeptic also, okay, giving up everything. No, life is a journey. You are privileged to be born as a human, and it must be traveled no matter how bad the roads and accommodations are. But at some point, remember, but at some point, you need to stop, look around, and see how beautiful this gift called life is. आप लगातार दौड़ रहे हैं, लगातार दौड़ रहे हैं. बाय द टाइम आप रुक कर देखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, आप अपने बॉडी को सारे डिसफंक्शन से सज्जित कर रहे हैं, एंड यू कीप ऑन विथ, you start struggling with everything which should not be part of your life. Pain, stress, memory loss, heart, blood pressure, blah, 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 blah. All kinds of problems. And सभी का मूल मंत्र है energy, which is good energy. So guys, देखते रहिए गोलगप्पे channel. Please subscribe. Next round will be with the very, very reputed and honorary scientist who has not only done PhD but DSc from Japan, Mr. O.P. Mishra ji. He will be talking about the recent Myanmar and Thailand earthquake and how we in India, we are mahfouz, and especially people in Bihar who are listening to this channel and all the Purvanchalis from Eastern UP and Jharkhand, how that region will be taking care of earthquake if it happens in future, what is being done. Can we build a dam on Kosi, which is a seismic zone? If it can't be built on Kosi, then how it was built on Bhakra Nangal, how it was built in Arunachal Pradesh, and even the Narmada Dam, how it was built in the Gujarat when the Latur earthquake had just happened. क्या टेक्नोलॉजी अवेलेबल है, क्या हम कर सकते हैं, इन सारे बहुत ही खूबसूरत डिस्कशन को मैं अपने नेक्स्ट सीरीज में लाऊंगा जो ऑलरेडी रिकॉर्डेड हो गया है, एडिटिंग चल रहा है. I will share with you guys. So energy series will be very important. I will be also visiting US where I live, and I will be talking about the President Donald Trump mining, fracking and all kinds of energy creation जो उन्होंने उनका जो विजन है उसको कैसे वो एड्रेस करते हैं ग्लोबली, where the world stands. We will discuss all those things in this series which will go for long time. So please देखते रहिए गोलगप्पे, and please do subscribe. अगर आप सब्सक्राइब करेंगे तो मेरे टीम को मोटिवेशन होगा, वो रिसर्च में और एफर्ट डाल सकते हैं, because that is what we want. Now और ना छोर पर ना करेंगे बोर. This is the tagline of this channel. ये आपके घर का चैनल है. This is your home channel, your own channel. We are trying to build a new discussion which is heard by everybody, and जो भी लोग बोलते हैं सबको हम सुनने की कोशिश करेंगे. We will not overrule them with our ideas. जय हिंद, नमस्ते.